Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is actually the last part of IAM. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, to get a full insight, you can go under my YouTube account and access the AWS playlist, and you can see like the playlist of the videos I've been doing for IAM. So basically, this is the continuation of the last video I made. We were discussing different ways to access AWS, and I told you that I will actually show you how to access the Cloud Shell, because in Fred's account, Fred had limited access, so he couldn't actually access the Cloud Shell, which is like basically the AWS CLI. This is like the built-in one inside the AWS management console. So we're gonna just pick it up where we left it. So basically what I did is, behind the scenes, I actually gave Fred like full access to, like I gave Fred administration access, because for the purposes of this demonstration, I've already discussed or explained the IAM policies and how they work. You don't have to give a user more access than he or she needs, So basically what I'm trying to say is, this is not the best practice to give everyone administration access, but because this is like the demonstration, I'm just trying to demonstrate that I've given Fred like the full access to everything. I don't want to just go back and forth giving Fred like limited access. I think that like defeats the purpose of this video, because I am actually trying to demonstrate, I'm trying to show you guys how you maneuver through the AWS management console and how you give the right permissions or policies to a specific user, But remember that you don't have to give more permissions than a user needs. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but let's just move on. So basically, this is Cloud Shell, so this is basically the same CLI we used on the previous video. Remember that okay, let's do this. Let's say AWS configure. Let's try to log in using this. Remember that we created the access keys. So this is the access key ID, which is like the username, and we have the secret access key, which is like the password. Then the default region name, we just give like a default region, like the US East one. Then the default output format, it's in YAML, So basically we just logged in as Fred right now using the access keys. I hope you guys remember. So if we type in this command again, remember that we could this command, what it does is it lets you know how many users, or what are the users and their username and all that under my AWS account. So basically this is what that command does, So if I go back to the management console and let me see, as you can see, in terms of, remember the other thing I want to mention is Cloud Shell is not available in all regions. So basically right now I'm using this, but I would like to use the default region, guys. I like using the default region because things like the Cloud Shell is available, but there are, like, for example, regions that Cloud Shell is not available in. So what I'm trying to say is Cloud Shell is not available in all regions in the AWS regions. I hope I make sense. So basically, if I go here, so here, remember that I've already logged in as Fred, so I don't need to use the access keys to actually use the Cloud Shell because this is a built-in CLI. I hope you understand. So I can just paste this command. Then after pasting it, as you can see, I can actually see who are the users inside my AWS account. As you can see right here, it says there's Fred, then there's Ika Yangarans, as you can see. And I'd like to make this a little bit. As you can see, now you can see every user inside this AWS account. I hope you guys understood this part of the video whereby you can access how you can access the AWS CLI. It's either you use the CLI like your command prompt on Windows, or you can use the Cloud Shell. Those are like the same thing. So this is basically the built-in one, and AWS actually charges you some coins for this one. So that's why I prefer using the command line or the command or PowerShell inside your machine. So that's just a suggestion. That's what I prefer to use, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this for now, and we're gonna move into the next topic. I'm gonna go back to my slides. Then we have discussed SDK. So for now, we're gonna talk about IAM roles. So if I could explain IAM roles in my own terms or in my own words, so IAM roles this is not like a typical easy topic to understand in AWS, but as time goes on, you get like a glimpse or you get an idea of what it really does. So in a nutshell, IAM roles are identities in AWS that provide temporary permissions to users. Remember that we discussed access keys. Those are different. IAM roles, it's some AWS services will need to perform actions on your behalf. So basically, you are accessing another service using another service. I don't know if I'm making sense. So to do so, we'll assign permissions to AWS services with IAM roles. We have common roles such as EC2 instance roles, Lambda functions, or Lambda function roles for CloudFormation. So an AWS service like EC2 or Lambda needs permission to access another service. You want to grant temporary access to like a user or external system. You want to follow best security practices by avoiding permanent credentials. So this is only temporary. Remember that, guys. You don't want like permanent credentials. On AWS is always about security first. You don't want something that will make scammers hack you or something, or some malicious people hacking into your account. So you have to actually change your things like your password and all that stuff. So that's like an IAM role. IAM role, in like simple terms, is like using another service to access another service. We're actually gonna do a demo on EC2 using the IAM rules. That's whereby you're gonna actually understand what are IAM rules actually. So for now, just keep it that way. IAM rules is like using another service to access another service. That's it. Then we have IAM security tools. We have two types of IAM security tools. We have the IAM Credentials Report, that's account level, and the IAM Access Advisor. So IAM Credential Report is a report that lists all your account users and the status of their various credentials. So it shows you when did this user log into the account. It shows you things like the various credentials that they've used. It stores them. Then we have the Access Advisor. Access Advisor shows you the service permissions granted to a user and when those services were last accessed. So we're gonna see a demo just now. Before we go to the best practices, let's just do a demo quickly to show you the Access Advisor and the Credentials Report. So we're gonna firstly let's start with the Access Advisor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head to IAM. Then under IAM, you want to go to like users. Let's go under thread, for example. Let's go under thread. Then under thread, we're gonna go to, so this is the access key. We're gonna go to last access. So this is the Access Advisor, guys. This is how you actually access the Access Advisor. So it's gonna like take a moment now. Let's just wait for it. So as you can see, it says allowed services like AWS Cloud Shell, administrator access. It was last accessed today. As you can see, it shows you like the service policies granting permissions. It shows you like which are the policies granting this permission. Remember that I gave Fred administrator access. Now you can use Cloud Shell. As you can see, AWS user notification, it was accessed today. All of this was accessed today, right? This was earlier when I was using like EC2 and AWS services for managing console user experience, capabilities, and all that. AWS Health APIs and notification, like it shows you like what this user accessed today and all that stuff. So this is the Access Advisor. Then if you want to access the Credentials Report, you're gonna go to your side panel. Then under Access Reports, you're gonna go to Credentials Reports. So under here, you can actually download Credentials Reports as a CSV. Then after downloading it, I'm gonna download it quickly. Then after downloading it, I'm gonna go to File Explorer, then go to Downloads. Then under Downloads, you can actually view your Credentials Report. So let me make this a bigger tab. So you can see ARN user creation time, password, enable password, last used password, last changed password, next rotation. It shows you things like that. So yeah, guys, that's what it shows you, the Credentials Report. As you can see, it also shows you like the users inside your AWS account and when was the last time the accounts were last accessed. So for example, as you can see, for this user last accessed their account on 2025 1:10 at that time, then 2, things like that. So this is the Credentials Report, guys. So I'm gonna close this for now. Yeah, so that's how you actually track your AWS account. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to my slide now. Then we're gonna discuss the best practices. So don't use the root account except for AWS account setup. That's the only time you have to use the AWS root user, but that's actually not the only time. There are some things that you use the AWS root account for, but you don't use it for for everyday use. Don't use it for everyday use, because if someone hacks on your AWS root account, he has like access to everything. So make sure that you set there, you create a user, so one physical user, one AWS user, assign users to groups, and assign permission to groups. Create a strong password policy. Use and enforce the use of multi-factor authentication. Create and use rules for giving permission to AWS services. Use access keys for programmatic access, CLI or SDK. We just saw the CLI. You can actually do like, I know this is like an advanced topic, but CLI is used for many things. Remember that you can actually, like, I know we haven't discussed services like S3, but you can actually create an S3 bucket using the CLI, you know. And so that's what the CLI is. The CLI is it's for many use cases, but we're gonna see those use cases as we go forward with the videos. And I know most of the time we're gonna use the management console, but remember guys, the purpose of using the management console for now is because I want to show you guys in a simpler way how to use AWS, so more on that later. So audit permissions of your account with the IAM credentials report. We have just discussed that one. Never share IAM users and access keys. So this is just a summary guys. Yeah, so yeah, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like, subscribe and share the video guys. I hope you're gonna join me for the rest of this journey of making content. I know this is new to me guys, if you guys don't know, but yeah, we're trying, man. Yeah, see you on the next one guys. Cheers.